month of March is right around the corner, so let's take a look at what's coming. And to be honest, it's kind of a sparse month this March. But the few games that are coming are definitely worth paying attention to.
I cast a spell, your health is back to 100. Get up. God, I have to do everything around here.
We're starting the month off strong with an interesting looking turn-based strategy game from Team 17. The publishers from, among other things, Dredge and Overcooked. Classified, France 44 on March 5th. At first glance, this looks like a by-the-book World War II XCOM lookalike, with all the expected cover tactics and flanking mechanics. But when we delve a little deeper, there seem to be a lot of innovative systems and mechanics hidden beneath its surface. Suppressing enemies to make them less effective and easier to flank, proximity to gunfire and explosions lowers morale and might even break a soldier psychologically, making them skip a turn. Kinda like the stress system in Darkest Dungeon, where it worked incredibly well. In other ways, it takes inspiration from the Commando series. Hiding in foliage, silent takedowns and causing distractions are all valid tactics. Weapons have a spray area, meaning that friendly fire is a real possibility. Aside from turn-based strategy, there seems to be a large focus on macro management. How we do this is up to us. Pick the missions that suit you and provide the rewards we want. Recruit fighters from the French resistance and hone their skills. This sounds like an interesting game I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on, and I imagine it will run well on the Steam Deck. I've had my eye on this one for a little while. The original Outcast was basically the first 3D open world, predating even GTA 3. Outcast: A New Beginning is a sequel made by the original developers from the 1999 cult classic. What I remember most is the extremely orange shirt Navy SEAL Cutter Slade wears on his outing to the planet Adelphi. And, as you can see, he's still wearing it. We're back on Adelphi to find the Talons enslaved and their planet stripped of resources. Which means you have to sack up and save the planet again. I vaguely remember the story of the original being a mixture of Stargate SG-1, but with time travels, and I'm curious what the twist will be here. From the trailer, I have to say, the planet and its flora and fauna look just as alien and varied as my nostalgic mind remembers. Combine this with the easy traversal with the jetpack and fun-looking combat, and you can imagine I'm very excited to play this game. I do have some concerns about the compatibility with the Steam Deck. Seems to be a lot going on at the screen at all times. But let's stay optimistic and keep our eye out for those reviews. Next one's for the horror fans, which I myself am one of. Alone in the Dark is shaping up to look really good. I talked about this game in an earlier video, so I don't want to rehash it too much, but this is a reboot of the 1992 original. Yep, another remake. We explore the Dercado Mansion, a home for the mentally ill, as either Edward Canby or Emily Hartwood, whose uncle has gone missing. And as you might expect with a setup like this, evil things are afoot. The game will feature both traditional style survival horror, like puzzles to open up new areas, locked doors that need keys and the like, and psychological horror, similar to something like Silent Hill. Shifting realities, hallucinations, noises, and all of this in a Lovecraftian setting. Edward Canby is modeled and voiced by David Harbour, or as most of us know him,
Jim Hopper. Chief Jim Hopper.
Yeah, I've got Jim Hopper here.
And how will it run on the Steam Deck? This doesn't look like a particularly taxing game, but only time will tell. If there's two games I'm excited about this month, it's this one and the next one on the list. I played Horizon Forbidden West for a little while when it was first released on the PS4, but I didn't get very far. Through no fault of the game, I should say, I just got wrapped up in other things. Elden Ring, which unfortunately launched a few days later. Just on a side note, the Horizon series is plagued by bad luck when it comes to release dates. The original Horizon launched a few days before Breath of the Wild, and this PC release on March 21st comes right before some very stiff competition, but more on that later. I believe this might be the perfect game for the Steam Deck. That is, if it'll run properly, which of course is the question. But open world games like these, with its many missions, quests, exploring to do, and of course story to uncover, is exactly what I love to play on the go. Do a mission, explore that cave, defeat that dinosaur, you catch my drift. Once again we step in the shoes of Aloy, a red-headed Amazon who's already protected humanity from extinction once before. But life is hurtling towards another extinction event, and Aloy is the only one who could stop it. If I could tell you only one thing to convince you about this game, it would have to be the setting and atmosphere. The post-apocalyptic world of the 31st century, inhabited by the robot dinosaurs we've all come to love, is one of the richest and most detailed worlds I've ever seen, and totally worth exploring. If it runs well, and you haven't played this on the PlayStation yet, it's definitely worth the pick. But then there was Dragon's Dogma 2, the game I'm probably most excited about this month, and as I alluded to earlier, the game that will overshadow Horizon's release, like Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring before. This game is in many ways similar to Horizon Forbidden West. We scale and take down large monsters in a massive open world. Where this game is different, however, is the setting and story. We're talking high fantasy, complete with dragons, wizards, and the end of the world as we know it. And of course, you, as the Arisen, are the only one who can stop it. Sounds like pretty standard fare so far, but aside from doing high fantasy very well, there's a slew of mechanisms and systems that make it stand out from the crowd. Like the pawn system that lets you hire up to 3 sidekicks of any vocation, only to trade them in for an upgraded version later on. Or how about casting spells as a wizard. It is so much more weighty than in any other game. Casting a lightning spell will take precious time and make you extremely vulnerable while doing so. But if you succeed, the enemies are in for a wild ride. Darkness 2 is more than just an aesthetic difference. If you're out at night, anything could happen. Prepare for some life or death situations. This is gonna be a good one. Switching to something completely different. Acolyte at the Altar. There's not too much info out there on this one, even the trailer is very cryptic. But the Steam page offers some enlightenment. In essence, what this seems to be is a boss-like roguelike card battler. Hunt giant monsters with your own equally giant monsters in the wasteland. Slay them and grow stronger for your patron. I'm not exactly sure what that means. There are plenty of card battlers out there nowadays, but this one seems to have some cards up its sleeve.
A joke.
For one, beasts grow stronger, evolving with every turn, and unlocking new abilities, which will lead to some constantly shifting battlegrounds and interesting situations. For another, judging from the trailer, this game looks like nothing I've played before, and I am always interested in playing something completely different. It looks complex, but the more rules, the better, I always say. Lastly, I don't think this will be a very taxing game, so it will be perfect for the Steam Deck. And then last, but not least, well, that remains to be seen, for the month of March, Jetpacks Snow Day on March 26th. And I have to say, I'm a little concerned about this game. The last two games, The Stick of Truth and The Fractured Butthole, were some of my favorite turn-based strategy games of all time, period. They were hilarious, but had enough strategic depth to keep it interesting.
You can't keep running into arrows and stay alive, dumbass.
But the vibe of Snow Day is completely different, which might have something to do with Ubisoft not developing this one, so this might actually be more of a spin-off and not a mainline entry in the series. The game is still turn-based, but now seems to go for more of an arena-style brawler. Also, it's geared towards co-op, but hopefully single-player is still a legit way to go. The art style is also really different, where the previous games matched the shows quite well, they're now moving to a completely 3D look. All of these changes mean nothing if the game is actually good, but I'm a little worried with what this might mean for the series. If this really is a spin-off, I really hope Ubisoft is still working on a mainline entry as well, because those games were so good. Other than that, I have to say the story looks fine.
Good luck trying to ruin this game. I'm sure you'll manage.
Lots of South Park craziness. I'm keeping my eyes open for this one, but I'm gonna wait for some reviews before picking it up. As for Steam Deck compatibility, this is coming to Switch too, so I'm not too worried there. And before we end this video, here's a last-minute entry I just found out about. March 1st, Expedition, a Mud Runner game. I am super excited for this game. Both the Mud Runner and Snow Runner games were among my favorite racing games of the last few years. In case you're not familiar, these are physics-based traversal games where you move loads from point A to point B over extremely difficult terrain. This new Mud Runner game is similar, except for moving loads from point A to point B. You're planning and undertaking scientific expeditions, including underground cave systems and temples and the like. This sounds extremely cool to me. I'll be picking up this game day one for sure. And that's it for March. I hope you enjoyed it. Take a look at this video for some amazing open world games that play really well on the Steam Deck. And I hope to see you in the next one.